This ward is Secretary of Cherwell Development Watch Alliance and Chair of Kidlington Development Watch, and is speaking on behalf of the CDWA representing several neighbourhood communities. This ward, you have 5 minutes.
Privileged to speak for the Alliance. We represent all the local residents who object to their communities being absorbed by Oxford City's sprawl and the loss of the amenities of the North Oxford Golf Course. You're being asked to vote for citing 4,400 houses in the Greenbelt. You are wrong to think that this doesn't matter because it isn't in your own wards. Sacrificing Kidlington, Begbroke, Yarnton, Gosford and Water Eaton will open the floodgates to uncontrolled rampant development across Cherwell. No field, hamlet, village or town in any of your wards will be spared. Both the Oxford City and Cherwell plans were drawn up at a time of local economic growth. They are now out of date. Arguably, we are now entering the worst recession since the 2020s. You would be wise to delay assessing the plan until the impact of it on economic growth is clearer. The government's ambition, as others have said, is to build its way out of the recession. Its plans involve scrapping most of local planning regulation and authority. The planning white paper proposes to allocate zones for development in which you, council and your residents, will retain very little control over what is built and where, a government that wants to unleash speculative development. It gets worse. Independent of the planning white paper, the government has already introduced a new method for assessing housing requirements. Under this new official means, the more houses you agreed to build previously, the more you will be expected to build in the future. This means that voting for the extra 4,400 houses will serve to massively amplify your already hyperinflated future housing targets. And here is why. In 2014, you approved a plan for a realistic increase in development to 670 homes a year. Then the 2014 SMAR increased this to an astounding 1,140 homes per year. Because you accepted the SMAR, many more houses have recently been built in Cherwell. More people move into the area, the population has increased. The government's new method assumes this trend will continue. It now says you need to build not 670, your original plan, not 1,140, the SMAR, but 1,305 houses every year. These houses are for the whole of Cherwell. You will not be able to put them all in the Greenbelt. They will be coming to all the communities you represent. These are not for local people. They are just part of the ambition of government, Mr Jenrick, Councillor Wood, to build 1 million houses in the Oxford-Cambridge arc. An ambition that has never been put before your electorate, because the government and Councillor Wood know the electorate don't want it. It gets worse. You are now asked to commit to build an additional 440 homes every year for 10 years in the Greenbelt, supposedly to meet Oxford's need. But Oxford City will control any new affordable housing. Oxford University hopes to reserve much of the housing for its own employees, and many of the rest will house London commuters. Cherwell will gain from voting to create an additional 4,400 new households. Its reward is even higher future housing targets. It gets even worse. Ironically, the government's new method calculates Oxford's need to be much, much less than your partial review assumes, virtually rendering the need to build on Greenbelt redundant. Your electors will see what is happening and they will remember. The political landscape has already changed elsewhere in Oxfordshire and areas of the South East where Greenbelt has been built on. If you don't want to lose your seats, please vote against these universally unpopular plans. You cannot abdicate responsibility for the consequences of the decision you take tonight. Enough is enough. It is time to break free from the vicious spiral of ever-increasing housing targets. We urge you to vote against the adoption of the local plan partial review. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is local and